Welcome back to Life as God Intended. Today we're discussing a deeply troubling issue to many. Trauma. Trauma can shape our lives in powerful yet subtle ways, affecting how we see ourselves, others, and even God. Welcome to this transformative episode where we'll explore trauma from a Christian perspective and discover how Christ offers healing to the deepest wounds of our hearts. We must begin first by understanding what trauma is. Trauma isn't limited to specific incidents. It can be embedded deeply into our hearts and minds, creating distortions in how we perceive ourselves and God. In Philippians chapter 3, verses 13 and 14, Paul encourages us to move beyond the past and press toward the life found in Christ. Similarly, Christ invites us into a healing journey, freeing us from trauma's lingering effects through his sufficiency. Picture a soldier returning from battle. Although the physical danger has ended, the emotional scars persist. I've counseled those who have come back from the battlefield with post-traumatic stress disorder because of those traumatic events. Trauma operates similarly. Its internal effects linger long after the external events have passed. So yes, the events are in your past, but the lingering effects, the emotional scars, may still remain and affect the present. But Christ wants to enter into those battlefronts. He wants to release us from the lingering emotional scars that remain from the traumas that we've experienced, providing genuine healing even when wounds feel overwhelming. Now, when we talk about traumas, we also have to talk about false perceptions. Many times this is lost in the discussion. There are traumas that stem from false perceptions that we may have developed during our childhood, shaping our identities through misunderstandings or false perceptions or lies that we believed. Now, it's not like we told the lie, but we believed something that wasn't true, and as a child didn't realize that we did. Consider a young girl named Mary, who overhears her father negatively mentioning someone named Mary. Assuming he referred to her, she mistakenly believes she's unloved, carrying that emotional wound into adulthood, fearing sharing with anyone about the incident. Let me give you another example. Consider John, who believed for years he was inherently flawed because of harsh words spoken to him by a teacher in grade school. Through counseling and deepening his relationship with Christ, John came to see how this false perception shaped his life. Maybe more importantly, John began to realize the truth, that Christ's truth freed him from the self-condemnation that he'd been carrying along and was transformed in his self-perception, allowing him to live confidently in God's love. In Isaiah chapter 61 and verse 1, the prophet talks about the coming Messiah, which is then again recorded in Luke chapter 4. He hath sent me, referring to Jesus, to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound. That's the good news that Jesus Christ brings. Jesus' mission includes healing every hidden wound and breaking every internal chain that's holding us captive. And don't kid yourself, many people have suppressed these wounded, rejective places and simply tried to move on without Jesus dealing with those things. I want you to pause and reflect and ask the Lord if there are subtle traumas or misconceptions impacting your life today that you've never let Jesus deal with or visit. If so, in prayer, allow Him to highlight those hidden areas so that He might bring a truth encounter, a healing embrace, and then you might be able to relinquish the control issues that you have relative to those rejective experiences. Some of us will need counseling to help us walk through some of those more traumatic events. Some practical steps that you may take in your journey with God, allowing Him to reveal unresolved traumatic events. First, begin a journal and begin to write down your thoughts. Begin to write down the insights from your time of reflection with the Lord. Commit to meditating as the Lord leads on a daily basis. As Psalm 147 verse 3 suggests, allowing the truth of God's healing to deeply penetrate your heart. And remember this in closing. Trauma doesn't define us. Christ does. And as we embrace His healing, we find freedom from past wounds and distorted beliefs. If this broadcast has impacted you, please share your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications for more uplifting content. And don't miss part 2 of this series on healing traumatic events, which also includes what is referred to as the father-mother wound. Till next time, walk in the freedom wherewith Christ has set you free. Now available on Amazon. Free to be in Christ, free to relate in Christ, free to live in Christ. Discipleship Counseling Workbook. Get your copies today.